Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster Perfect Stats Guide. So, we have finished Zozo in the previous video there. And we need to make our way all the way back to the Veldt. We've got Celes and Locke because they are stuck in our party now for a little while. And then I've got Edgar and Gau with me as well. Again, we actually need to take Gau to the Veldt, so it made sense to put him in the party at the end of Zozo there. And yeah, we'll need to leap him off, which is a little unfortunate. He is, he's an amazing character, but unfortunately, because of the changes that they've made to the way, just a couple of the things that have changed. It makes it so that we can't use Gau until, when is it? After Thaumasia. So quite a ways off, unfortunately. I guess there's a little period there where we've got control of the airship prior to the sealed cave that I suppose you could grab him and kind of fly around with him, but I didn't really find that to be, all that useful. To be completely fair, though, one interesting thing is by going this route, you can actually start leveling Gau right now. Normally, you would have to wait until later and after the Magitek research facility, but we're not going to be taking him for that anyway. So, again, honestly, right now you could level him if you wanted to. Unfortunately, though, you would have to probably glitch you'd have to glitch somebody on him. I guess Raiden, right, would I guess kind of make sense, because at least then he'd get +2 strength on level up, but I don't really want to go strength on Gau. I want to go magic, so I'm just not going to bother. So we will not be leveling him for the time being. So anyways, what am I doing here? Oh, I guess I stopped in at Jydor just to take a look at some of the different equipment that we've got available, and if I needed to buy anything. The way down, I don't know if I think I got into some random encounters there with the double Iron Fist and double, I forget what the little bug looking thing is called. But that I should not have taken that encounter there, because that goes into the same pack as the Hill Gigas, and I had planned on morphing those to get an organics. Now that organic sword is not that great, so I wouldn't say if you want to do that. I don't know. I guess that's up to you. But the organics is not very good. I don't really like it that much, so I don't really find that it's really worth the time to do that either. So here I saved this scene until I felt like it made more sense, right? Or it was more efficient, because on the way through here I didn't have Celes with, and there's a little bit of an extra. Celes walks over to Rachel as everybody else is leaving. And that normally doesn't happen, right? Because if Celes isn't here, you can't see her do that. So it's kind of, her kind of, I guess, yeah, I don't know. I guess thinking about, Locke and his relationship to Rachel here. So here's where we really learn more about what happened with her as well. Obviously, there's another scene that we'll get here coming up, but it's actually kind of weird. I almost wonder if I should have gone to this building first, because I feel like it makes more sense to do this scene first. So that's my bad. I guess I never really thought about that before. I just always go to that to the old guy, the creepy old guy's house. But yeah, I think it actually makes more sense to do this scene first. Anyways, so here Rachel and Locke are in what looks like Mount Colts. So this is, a ways into it, and yeah, I don't know, something happens there where the bridge kind of collapses. And so in order to save Locke, Rachel pushes him out of the way, and then unfortunately is injured and loses her memory. So pretty devastating, actually, turn of events here. Yeah, and so this, I assume, is Rachel's father kicks Locke out of the house, and basically blames him for what happened, which, yeah, I guess on some level, sort of, right? I don't know. Although I guess that also would assume that Rachel has no free will, right? And Locke forced her, right? No, she was I assume there on her or by her own free will. But here, I don't know who that person is supposed to be, but he basically tells Locke that, she needs to start over, and him being around isn't helping things. So here it says, when I finally returned, Rachel had remembered. Basically, there was an Imperial attack on the town, and Rachel was killed, apparently, in it. And before, of course, naturally, before the end, Rachel got her memory back, and and so unfortunately Locke wasn't around. There's an elixir there in the clock, and then that woman has a message there for Locke, right? She says, before she passed away, she said to tell Locke, "I love you," or something like that. So pretty devastating, that turn of events. But here I got into a random encounter here, and this is fine. Normally, again, I've been trying to excuse me, sorry. Wow. Trying to avoid these these encounters, but that one's fine. The double Alacron and Sandray. So no problems there. But again, our goal here now is to take Gau all the way over to the Veldt. Again, I guess if you really wanted to level like his strength or something, you could do that. But you're also really limited in where you could actually level him. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't recommend that either. I think that there'll be a lot better areas to level him later. So we will hold off. All right, so let's. We're just gonna head on over back to the east side of the mountains, I suppose, back to where Figaro Castle is normally sitting at, or where it's sitting at the beginning of the game, I suppose. And I think I just head on over to the cave. Again, the idea here is to get all the way to the Veldt. Oh yes. So I think I cut out a lot of the path back over there, because it's really just me running away from the different fights on the way back to the Veldt. So there's nothing fancy there. The only thing I would say, and I believe I probably brought this up, or I hope I brought this up before, but normally what I would do is make it over to Nikia, and you jump in into the Let River again, and then you can end up near the old man's cabin again, kind of like during Sabin's scenario. Unfortunately, and then what I would normally do is I would loop over to Nikia, because now the rocks are gone and we can actually get through there. But unfortunately, the chocobo there is basically broken now, and there's no way to go anywhere with the chocobo, so there's no reason to do that. So anyways, long story short here, make it all the way back to the Veldt, and I just wanted to show you guys, this is kind of my method. What I do here is I had everybody invisible, because the Hillgigas can't do really anything to you if you're invisible. Honestly though, you want to be floating as well. I didn't realize it, but sometimes even when you use Ragnarok to finish or to morph the Hillgigas, every once in a while it'll still cast Magnitude 8, and we're not able to survive that with this specific group. I think Cyan can actually survive it, but here I'm morphing him, and I think I just kind of showed you Yeah, and then I got a potion. It was like, oh gosh. And then here he casts Magnitude 8. So, again, if you want to do this now, make sure you're floating. One of the espers that we've got now can actually teach us that. So, definitely, if you decide to morph the Hilgigus here, definitely do that. All right, so what is next here? Oh, I just cut in a little footage here of the actual organics. Again, I don't know. It's questionable whether or not this is really worth morphing. The attack power is really good, but it breaks a lot. So I don't know. It's again, that's your call on whether or not you want to morph those. But anyways, we're gonna get on to the more important things. The other thing about this strategy too is eventually here, once your characters start being able to cast like Fire 2 and Thunder 2. Actually, I don't know if we've got Fire 2 legit. I think I had Thunder. Yeah, we have Thunder 2 from Rama for sure though. Is to actually just nuke all of your own characters and kill them off that way instead of reloading your game, because reloading takes a lot longer. Whereas if you just wipe out in a battle, it'll just automatically kind of reload your game with no load time. So that's the way I prefer to do it. Here I morphed the Hell's Rider into a golden armor. I think the golden armor is the best of its morphs. It's got the golden spear, shield, helmet, and armor. But most of that other stuff is not that great. The golden spear, I suppose, is okay for Edgar right now, but he never uses his melee weapon, so it doesn't seem like it's that great. But yeah, the golden armor is the only way that you can get that right now. We'll be able to get those later in the World of Balance, but it's a steal from I think it's the Chimera, but that's quite a ways off yet. So we're actually able to get that pretty early. I think there might be one of them as well in the Magitek research facility, but again, this is as early as you can get it if you're glitching. So here is where our hard work in Zozo finally pays off as well. Again, now what I've done is I've saved before this battle, and obviously I wasn't able to get a successful morph, so I used the teleport stone to get out. Again, that's because I wasn't able to nuke my own characters. But that is faster, right? Once you learn like Fire 2, just cast on your party and wipe yourself out so that you can just reload your game immediately, and it'll skip all of that load time. So that's the way I prefer to do it. The other thing that you can do here also is steal from the Veil Dancers before you try to morph them, because every once in a while you'll get lucky and get that Thief Knife. Not that important, but it's something. And there it is. I dubbed the Miracle Shoes. Miracle Shoes are truly a miracle. Obviously, they're going to give you haste, protect, shell, and regen. Very, very good items, and normally not available at all until the World of Ruin, I believe. I think, anyway. Yeah, that is the case. Normally, these Miracle Shoes are not available until the World of Ruin, so, you know. Pretty amazing to be able to get them, especially at this point. I mean, this is still pretty, well, early-ish, right? I don't know, I guess we're about halfway through the World of Balance, but yeah, anyways, so like I said, that's the great part about all the hard work that we put into Zozo there. So basically, you know, how this is working is I save right before this pack. And because it's only, because I only ran into the Veil Dancer and Gobbledygook, as well as the Veil Dancer Harvester formations, those are the only two that'll show up here. And so, literally every time we reload our game, we're able to run right into the Veil Dancer again, which really speeds this process up. And there's the Miracle Shoes for you. So, again, it's a really cool combination of the things that they've changed, and it really makes, you know, things like this specifically a lot easier. Now, if you want to do this legit, you can actually do this really legit too, but you won't be able to do it in the World of Balance. Basically, if you can still set up Zozo the way I did there, again with, you know, the Veil Dancer specific fights. You can actually do this in the World of Ruin as well. Again, you know, that's a ways off though, and obviously you will have had to take the Ragnarok Esper instead of the sword. But Again, if you want to do that more legit, then, by all means, go right ahead and do that. But anyways, that's the Miracle Shoes. I think that is one of the best morphs probably in the game. And they're amazing. But the second thing that we're working on here now is the Flame Shield. Now, the bomb is the enemy that we're looking for here. Now, I actually did mess up when I initially went through the Phantom Forest and the Phantom Train. I didn't take all of the bomb formations like I should have. I should have grabbed the 3, because there's actually 3 formations there, and so right now there's the Flame Shield. Unfortunately, right now, before I saved, before that battle, I actually only had a 50-50 chance of running into the bomb, because I only have one other. I have that bomb formation, that one specifically, the single, and then I've got the Overmind and the 2 Living Dead formations, because they're in the same pack. And so again, unfortunately, when I was morphing the Flame Shields, I had a 50-50 chance every time I reset my game right there. To get the right pack. So, again, I wish I would have done that a little bit better. Had I taken the other 2 bomb formations as well, I would have at least had a 75% chance of running into a bomb anytime I did a battle there. But, live and learn. And hopefully you won't make the same mistake I did. But here I'm just showcasing the stuff that I grabbed or morphed right now before I moved on. So I got, a couple golden items. Again, the helmet is not that great. I would still rather use the green berets. There's the organics. Again, same deal. I'm not really a big fan of that weapon in general. The gold armor is really good though. That's the best armor that like heavy armor, I guess, that not everybody can wear that, but Edgar, Celes, Cyan can all use that. So those are really good. But I did get the 4 miracle shoes. And then I did get 4 flame shields as well. I wanted to be able to fully equip my my party. And, honestly, this was a lot of work. This was hours and hours worth of work. And also, a lot of foresight, though, as well. You really want to be making sure that, again, like Zozo especially, it just helps so much to be able to reload your game and immediately go back into the fight. To try to morph again, because the process is already time consuming the way it is, and it adds so much more between load times, just because you're not even getting the right fights in the first place here on the Veldt. So again, unfortunately it takes a lot of prep time, but it pays off. I'm really happy with these items, and we're really gonna. I mean, it's gonna make the game is already a bit of a joke, right? But it's just gonna make it even more so. But yeah, it's also gonna really, really help us out, I think, for the minecart. That boss fight at the end is pretty nasty, or it can be pretty nasty. But all right, so anyways, now we're back in Kohlingen again. I've already leapt off Gau. It's very, very important to do that, because. And here you can see I went into the shop specifically to show you guys this. If you notice here, I've only got 5 characters that are being shown here whenever I try to buy gear. Again, that's because Gau is gone, so he is not being factored into our average level right now. If you're ever wondering, at any given time who's being factored in, just go to a shop, and it should that should give you an indication as to. What character levels are. So again, if I were to take Gau right now at level 7 and come in here to Kohlingen and pick up Shadow would have joined at 6, because our average level would have been 6. So again, the key here is to make sure that Gau is gone. Now here's where things get a little bit different as well. Normally what you would do here is level up Celes and Shadow, and unfortunately, though, we've only got access normally, again, unless we're glitching, which I am doing, obviously. Normally, you would only have a +1 to Magic Esper, which is Ketchi, I believe, right now. But some things have changed, so we are going to level Celes here, but we are not going to level Shadow. The reason for that is at this point now, the next character that we will possibly be, well, I shouldn't say possibly, the next character that we will be gaining is Setzer. Celes's level does not factor into Setzer's level because he will have already left. Or sorry, she will have already left. But Shadow will not. And that is the key difference between, or one of the key differences between this version of the game and other versions of the game. And what I mean by that is, like, let's just say the PlayStation version. We're going to head to Narshe right now. And normally, as you enter Narshe, Shadow will just take off on you. And yeah. And so that made it so that Shadow's level never factored in when you grabbed Setzer. And so Setzer would always just join at level 6 because there was no way around it. Celes will have been gone, right? Even if you somehow or for some reason kept her at 5, which is not a good idea. But even if you did, her level doesn't factor into Setzer's anyway. So there was no way to get Setzer at 5 unless you use some sort of other glitch, like I think like the Game Boy Advance had a what was it called, the event level skip or something like that. Which was a really convoluted bug, but there was a way to get, other characters at really, really low levels. It was, honestly, it was a very interesting bug, and whoever found that, my hat's off to them because that's really impressive. But anyways, so again, right now, what we're actually going to do here is we're going to dump off Shadow here in Narshe, and he will basically behave as though he is still in our party, and it will be the case all the way up until basically the end of Themasia, right after the Flame Eater. And then at the Flame Eater, he takes off. So the cool thing about that is not only does Setzer join at 5 instead of 6, but it also is going to mean that Strago is going to join at 6 as well. Unfortunately, that is where the benefit ends because... after that he takes off, and then unfortunately, what the game version giveth also may taketh away, because the Flame Eater gives us a bunch of experience that we cannot avoid. They changed that as well, unfortunately. So we end up taking experience there for the balloons, and that's going to basically screw Realm over. And so there is no way to get Realm at 5. Unfortunately, she will be joining at level 6. So, anyways, yeah. So I guess one other thing to keep in mind though as well is once we get Terra back, we will still and then we've got access to the airship, and previous to the Esper Cave is where we will level Shadow. We do not want to level Shadow quite yet. We will, again, like I said, level him a little bit later. Normally, again, in prior iterations of the game, you would actually level Shadow right here. Again, because, as you walk into Narshe, he's just going to take off on you anyway. And so he'd also, by the way, if you had a Esper on him, he would run away with the Esper as well. So until at least he rejoins you on the floating continent. So make sure that you don't do that. Now, all right, so I have glitched the Ragnarok, or no, I'm sorry, not Ragnarok, Raiden onto Celes. Now, normally I build her magic, but I just couldn't resist getting, I would rather take 2 strength than only 1 magic. We're going to have plenty of levels to work with her later to max out her magic, so I wasn't worried about, losing the 1 single point of magic, so. Anyways, the glitch is really easy to do. Basically, I'm playing on a gamepad as well, and basically what I do is I hold the left click on the Esper. What is it? The one on the top right. I can't remember the name of that one now. Is it? Actually, let me just take a look here. Siren. So you left click on Siren and hold it, and then you tap up and let go at the same time, and it'll glitch Raiden onto your character. So very cool bug. It is, again, the only way that you can get +2 stats on Celes right now. So that is what I do. And then here I'm looking for 3 battles, probably with the Leafer Darkwind. These battles are just easy to get, you know, a little bit of experience and not overdo it. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. I just want to get Celes leveled. I think I missed the part too there where when I dumped off Shadow, I went into town and interacted with one of the shopkeepers just to show you guys again that that Shadow's level was being factored in, because again, as you look at those or you know, as you look at the different items that you can equip or equipment, it'll show you that character is indeed being factored into your group's average level. So that is generally how that works again. But yeah. So anyways, now we're going with the we've got the leveling process going here, and we're really close. It looks like I've got one more battle here, and I'll have Celes leveled. Now, the reason for that, unfortunately, because Celes takes off towards the end of the Magitek research facility, her level will not be factored in to Setzer's. Not that it really matters anyway, but you wanna level her from 5 to 6. Otherwise, you permanently lose her level, because when she rejoins a little bit later on, she will have lost that level, and there's no way to keep your party level at 5 still. So that's unfortunate too. Had the Flame Eater fight not given us as much as experience as it did, we actually would have been able to keep the party level average at 5. I mean, it's slightly higher than 5, right? It's like a 5.8, but it rounds down every time. So it's just unfortunate that that Flame Eater fight got changed. It's a lot like the Dataluma fight, right? Like where in previous versions of the game, if you know, Dataluma, he calls 2 little Iron Fist guys to help him out, and in other versions of the game, if you just didn't touch the two guys that he calls in, and then killed Dataluma, you wouldn't get experience for them, right? Like it's basically considered one boss, and again, so you wouldn't get the experience. But it's not that way with this version of the game. Anytime like an ad, I guess I would call it, right, gets called in. Again, in the Dad fight, it's the 2 little Iron Fist guys, and in the Flame Eater fight, it's the balloons that get called. And unfortunately, there's just no way to avoid that experience. So you know, your level ends up getting messed up. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So all right, I am out of time for this one. There, Celes has leveled. She is now got the +2 strength, and at this point, I take this crew on to the Veldt. I think I might have footage. That's where we're gonna pick it up. So as always, hope the guide was helpful, and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.